Recently, I've been investigating how our hands can help us make choices. Along with a colleague, Matthias Streicher at the University of Innsbruck, we've been investigating how grasping a product can influence consumers' perceptions and choices. We've shown that you're actually more likely to choose a KitKat than a Snickers because the KitKat is more similarly shaped to the mobile phone than the Snickers is. In a series of lab experiments, we've placed products in the consumer's hands while they were unable to see what we were placing into their hands. So in some studies, we had them place their hand behind a screen so that they couldn't see it. In other studies, we had them place their hand behind themselves so that they couldn't see it. In all cases, we put one of two different types of product in their hand. We either put a bottle of Fanta, which has a curvy shape, and for the other half of the participants, we instead placed a straight, slim can of Fanta into their hand. While they were unable to see the product in their hand, we then asked them to choose between two different products. In this case, they chose between a bottle of Coca-Cola, which as you know also has a curvy shape, or a slim can of Red Bull, which as you know has a straight shape, much like the Fanta can does. What we found is that people were actually more likely to choose the product that was similar to the shape that was in their hand, even though they couldn't see what was in their hand. So when they were grasping the can of Fanta behind a screen, let's say, they were more likely to choose the can of Red Bull. But when they instead were, let's say, blindfolded and were grasping a bottle of Fanta, which is curvy, they actually were more likely to choose the curvy Coca-Cola bottle. So what these studies show is that our hands can lead us to make choices. However, there are two caveats to this effect, one situational and one personal. The situational constraint has to do with how crowded or dense the product array is. Some displays are very dense, with lots of products crowded together like you might see in a discount shop. On the other hand, some product arrays are very sparse, like in a luxury retail shop, where there's lots of space between the different products. What we find in our research is that the effect of grasping a product on the choice of some other product is actually larger when the product display is overcrowded, like you might see in a discount store. The second constraint is more personal. It depends on your need for touch. Some consumers are very high in need for touch, which means that when they go shopping, they really like to grasp the products on the shelf, they pick them up, they feel the weight, they look at the label, they see how it feels. When they go to buy clothes, they'll feel the material and see if they like it or not. Other consumers don't really like to touch products that much. They don't gain very much information from grasping a product or feeling the material. What we find in our research is that the influence of touching one product on the choice of another product is much larger for people who are very touchy and they have a high need for touch during shopping. These results have direct implications for product and package designers and in fact for marketing managers more generally. For one thing, our results show that having a distinctive shape, like Coca-Cola's iconic bottle, not only provides a powerful source of brand identity, but also a powerful source of brand recognition by the hands. Secondarily, what we've shown is that consumers are more likely to choose a product that has the same shape as something that's in their hand. So consumers often have things like a mobile phone, or a wallet, or even a computer mouse in their hand. Marketing managers could design packages and products to mimic those commonly held forms. Furthermore, what we've shown with our research is that if marketing managers create more crowded product displays, the effect of touching the product will be larger. And secondarily, they should encourage consumers to grasp the product on the shelf because that also increases the desire for the grasped product.